Hey folks, it's me Roger back with another video. I meant to make this video weeks ago, but all of a sudden it was Thanksgiving here in the US and I got a cold and I just didn't feel like doing much. But I'm feeling a little better now. Still a little sniffly. But I wanted to come on and give thanks to Jeff McLennan, Glowing 00 Cabbage, hey Jeff, for some fantastic VCLT. Man, there've been some really awesome VCLT videos lately. Teddy just did one, Ben, yeah. Here's the VC. People come and go, I guess. I don't know why people do what they do. I don't know why I do what I do. I don't know why people in the VC send each other records for no reason at all. I don't know, but I think it's really pretty amazing. So this all started a while ago on Facebook when somebody set up a group to sell records, to folks, and nothing really happened with that group. But right away, Jeff posted this on that Facebook group, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy that from you. This is Boris Smile. This is their last LP on Southern Lord. Really great foil cover. Gatefold, heavy duty gatefold, double LP like Southern Lord does things. So I was like, yeah, I'll buy this from you. And I can understand why he was going to sell this, because it's not their best record. Although I do really like side 3. So anyway, I said, yeah, I'll buy it. And he said, oh no man, I'll send it to you. I was like, you really don't have to do that. I'm happy to send you US dollars for this record. So anyway, some time passed, and that's cool. He went to New York. I was really hoping to meet up with him in New York. That was the plan, but life happens. Anyway, Jeff, so cool that you sent this to me. And you not only sent me this great, well, not so great, but very cool Boris record, and I'm really happy to have this in my collection. Sent me another record by a band called Trapezoid, Now and Then, from 1980 on Flying Fish. So a folk band from Canada. And there's some pretty traditional folk stuff on here, but it opens with this track, Devra's Delight, that's very ethereal and, I don't know, almost could be an ECM kind of thing. But really lovely. Even the traditional stuff is just so well sung and played. I really dug this a lot. Thanks, Jeff. I guess you do watch my videos if you know that I'm getting into that kind of folk stuff. So if that wasn't amazing enough, he also sent me a CD. Abdullah Ibrahim, African Suite for Trio and String Orchestra on Enja from 1998. This is gorgeous. Very chill. So it's Abdullah Ibrahim, formerly known as Dollar Brand, on piano, with Belden Bullock on bass and George Gray on drums, and a string orchestra. Now, sometimes these things don't work real well, but this is sublime. The wife also really liked this a lot, so thank you, Jeff. Really superb. So kind of you. And if that isn't enough, he sent me a nice note, which also has this cool drawing of a gramophone. Very nice. But he also sent me this original drawing with an original poem on it. Now, that's just really something. Jeff is so talented. We're talking about working together on my next LP project. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I would be honored to work with Jeff because he's just so talented. when I saw this, my jaw just dropped. I was like, wow, that is really... I don't know whether to frame it or keep it in that copy of Smile. Thank you so much, Jeff. I kind of leaves me speechless. And if that weren't enough, and I don't quite understand what these are these later issues of Crawdaddy? This is from autumn 1995 and winter 1996. I haven't begun to really get into these yet, but Crawdaddy, of course, was famous underground, rock zine that was always featured better writing than you would find in, say, Rolling Stone or whatever. Thank you, Jeff, so much. VCLT, I guess there's problems in the VC and people come and go and there's drama and there's trolls and all that crap, but I don't care, because even if it's just a handful of people that connect in this sort of way, that's awesome. I really hope someday to meet you, Jeff. Someday we're going to make that work, okay? Cheers and thank you. Really. Okay, I apologize for the long video. I got a big stack of records here to show you. So yeah, like I said in my last video, this is kind of catch up of, see, look at that stack. Just, my general digs and stuff. So I showed you the new records I'd gotten, and so now I'm going to show you some of the used, the antiques. And I guess I'm going to go quickly because otherwise this is going to go on forever. All right, this I got just recently, actually. Iverson and Walter's first collection on Eagle Records. This is at this place that has just the stupidest prices. I don't understand this place at all. You know what this is priced at? 25 cents. It's mint, unplayed. I wasn't sure what it was, but I thought for 25 cents, it looked interesting. They look a little douchey here on the back, but it's from the 80s sometime. God, does it even say here? Yeah, I think it's the 80s sometime. Anyway, so what this is all over the place. The first track, River Fen, you'd think it was going to be like this electronic prog space new age music. And I'm like, oh, cool. But then it goes into like downright bluegrass sort of things, and but then like percussion workouts and really all over the place. There was apparently never a second collection, and I posted this on Facebook, and of course Chris Cole, John Coltrane 68, knew about it. Yeah, 25 cents. What the hell? Yeah, I guess they went on to do a few other things, but this is pretty obscure stuff. And a beautiful record. I really quite liked it. I liked the folky bluegrass elements as well as the electronics, and I love the way they try to jam it all together. All right, I gotta get moving on, or whatever. Hang out with me, folks. It's been a while. Here's another folk record, Alan Stivell. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this. Langoned. This is a Canadian pressing on Polydor. I have another record by him, that Renaissance of the Celtic Harp, which is a beautiful record. This is not like that. This is more traditional Breton music, I think. But lovely, really. I don't think this was ever issued in the US. It came out on Fontana in the UK, 1975. And I think only in Quebec. I mean, because it's all in French. And yeah, this is a cool find. Very cool. All right. Here's some UK folk, Blondells. The Amazing Blondells album, Blondell, on Island from 1973. US copy. It's a little beat. It has some tape here. But I don't care. It's a placeholder until I can get a better copy. I just love that. I just love that stuff. I love this stuff too. Straubs. Just a collection of antiques and curios. Live at the Queen Elizabeth Hall. It's a US copy on A&M from 1970. Excellent. This is when Rick Wakeman was still in the band. Although he goes a little overboard with his showiness, which I guess you would expect. But very different from Yes, though. Yeah, I love these guys. Pretty much want to own all of them. And I would love UK pressings of that stuff, of course, but not something you see around. More UK folk. John Martin, Well Kept Secret, from 1982 on Wea International. Not sure where this is from. UK pressing, maybe? I don't know. It was cheap. Beautiful. Everything I've heard from John Martin is superb. This one has a little staining on it, but it plays great. Mick Karn's Titles on Virgin from 1982. His first solo album. This is while Japan was still going, I guess. Ben Costello, if you're watching, hey man, ever since you showed that in your Japan video, I've been on the lookout for it. I guess one side is mostly instrumental, the other side is more song-oriented. It's great. What an inventive, creative bass player. You know, particularly for pop music. You don't hear interesting bass playing necessarily in pop music very much. Well, argue with me. But he's great. Yeah, Mick Karn. Yeah, a little staining here, kind of sucks, but whatever. It's cheap, UK pressing. All right. This is a record I would have overlooked if it weren't for the VC and hanging around with you weirdos for the last couple of years. Music for Sensuous Lovers by Z. On Sensuous Records from, when is this, 1971? Now, if you open this up and look on the label, it says, by Mort Garson. And so if you know who Mort Garson is, then you know, oh, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be Moogie synthesizer stuff. And that's what it is. So it's, Mort Garson noodling around on his, synthesizers. And then this woman moaning and groaning and making animal sounds and whispering. And I listened to this with Liz, and she laughed and laughed and laughed. Probably not the response he was looking for. Hard to know who this was marketed to. I gave it a good cleaning before I did anything with it. Know what I mean? All right. Need to wet my whistle. Oh yeah, this is going to go on forever. Okay, so I think I'd mentioned recently that Grammys has been getting in all these kind of newish records used and in fantastic condition, and I picked up a couple of them. Here is Steve Noble and Stephen O'Malley, St. Francis Duo, it's called. Bow Weevil, which is Australian, I guess, maybe UK, not really sure. So yeah, Steve Noble, great, free improvising British drummer, percussionist, and Stephen O'Malley from the band Sun. And it's pretty wild. I could see how maybe this wasn't the previous owner's cup of tea, but I dig it a lot. I think it's really brave of Stephen O'Malley to get up on stage with someone like Stephen Noble and improvise for an hour. It's good. It's kind of primitive. It's sort of like Thurston Moore moving in that direction and stuff. Really cool stuff. Here's another Bow Weevil record I found there. Raga Udi and the Giri Plateau. This is from 2012. When is this from? 2011. So pretty recent, and you know, Grimey's prices these things to sell, so really these were bargains. So yeah, Orem and Barchi's, you know, lots of folks in the VC really are into him. That's how I'm kind of aware of what he's up to, and he does a lot of different stuff. And this is pretty different. This is, you know, it says, you know, 12-string acoustic guitar and sine wave. Yeah, it's kind of, and there's tambura, you know, like a tambura machine, but then manipulated. Yeah, this is not easy listening. Again, I could see why someone was like, well, I think I'll trade this in. But I dig it, and for the price, yeah, for sure, I'm going to keep that in my collection. All right. Going to end up with a buttload of jazz. Here we are 15 minutes into it. If you're looking for the jazz stuff, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just going to whip through this, okay? Jimmy Durfee 4, Tangents in Jazz from 1956 on Capitol. Mono, of course. This is earlier than I tend to collect. But as Zeke the Vinyl Geek was pointing out, these old records, you know, they're built like tanks, and especially if you've got a mono switch. And this is a really pretty clean copy. This plays great. So cool jazz, almost third string. You know, here Jimmy Durfee was a really interesting cat. I really dig that stuff in the '60s with Steve Swallow and Paul Bley. This is earlier than that, much earlier. But you know, he's playing around with like not having there being a pulse all the time, and it's it doesn't name the band, but I was looking it up. Anyway, really interesting record for 1956. Here's a really neat record. Elvin Jones Time Capsule on Vanguard from 1977. Looks earlier than 77, doesn't it? But Vanguard was such an interesting label. And this is Elvin Jones in a real like jazz rock kind of vein, with Kenny Barron playing electric piano exclusively, and this Japanese guitarist Ryo Kawasaki. Yeah, Junie Booth. Yeah, this is great. Excellent. In fact, I've never heard a bad Elvin Jones record. And I've never heard a bad Bobby Hutcherson record either. This is The View from the Inside on Blue Note from 1977 also. I like that cover. I hate that cut mark, but, you know. Previous record, what was it called? Waiting. It's a little more like a fusion-y bag, and this is not. This is getting back to his strengths, and it's just beautiful. Just a beautiful jazz record. You know, cheap. I don't know, I just love Bobby Hutcherson. I love the sound of the vibes. Yeah, I'd love to have all of his records. I would. Cheers. All right. This is cool fun. Don't see ESP disc stuff around. Not around here. Revolutionary Ensemble, Vietnam, from 1972 on ESP disc. I can get that glare. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, so the Revolutionary Ensemble is what's it? Jerome Cooper on percussion and drums, Cerrone on bass, and Leroy Jenkins on violin. One long piece split into two. Pretty avant-garde, free, although there are you know, structures involved. You know, they live up to their name. This is fantastic, right up my alley. As is this Burton Green Ensemble Aquariana on BYG Actuel. I'm not sure. Let's pull this out. I was pretty excited to find this, and I paid a really good price for it. And it was filthy, of course. I cleaned it up, but it's an original. A little bit of staining on the inside there, and that's not unusual. But yeah, when is this from? 69. Yeah, Burton Green, pianist, and who else plays on this? Jacques Courcelle on trumpet, Arthur Jones alto sax, Burton Green piano. Bob Guerin and Dieter. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of a large ensemble, long tracks, pretty out there, classic actual record. There's a track from this on that Charlie comp that Thurston Moore and Byron Coley put out. Yeah, that was a cool find. It's a little chewed up, but you know, it plays. This is a really nice record. Attila Zoller, Gypsy Cry on Embryo from 1970. I wasn't familiar with him, but you know, Embryo is such a cool label. You know, this opens up and there's a bigger portrait of him, and it's a unipack, which but whatever. It's in beautiful condition. But Herbie Hancock plays on this. A really interesting electric piano. It's not a Rhodes. I'm not sure. It sounds like Sun Ra's Roxachord is what it sounds like. It's really interesting record. Really, sometimes kind of straight ahead, but also kind of fusiony. You know, it's 1970, so. And they're all originals by Zoller. Yeah, very cool record. Yeah. Another awesome record. Again, the cover's a little beat, but the vinyl is near mint. Alan Shorter's Orgasm on Verve from, I'm not sure when this is from, the early 70s. Alan Shorter, I believe, is Wayne Shorter's brother. I meant to confirm all this. My understanding is he's Wayne Shorter's brother, and like, didn't live too long, I don't think. But this is a great record. With Rashid Ali and Leandro Garibaldi, Charlie Hayden, kind of that inside-outside, kind of funky, kind of swinging, kind of bridges, you know, rings all those bells, you know what I mean? It's a killer record. I think there's some breaks on here, which makes it a little bit of a pricey record, but because the cover's jacked, I didn't pay too much for it. Excellent. Alan Shorter, Orgasm. Another cool record that's in not great shape, so I didn't pay a lot for it, but it's a really great record. Howard Roberts, Antelope Freeway on Impulse, ABC Impulse from 1971. Now, my understanding is that he doesn't like this record, but my opinion is that this is one of the best records he ever made. He never made anything like it. It's kind of jazz, but it's pretty psychedelic too, with like audio concrete stuff and sound effects, and it's pretty crazy. I dig it. It's a cool gatefold. I guess a mint copy of this would be, you know, kind of pricey, but I'm happy to have that one in my collection. Yeah, 23 minutes. I told you it was going to be a long video. They're just too many records. Thanks for hanging in. Here's Steve Grossman, Some Shapes to Come. This is private press, I believe, or small label PM Records out of Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey from 1974. This is killer. Steve Grossman on tenor and soprano saxophone, Jan Hammer on electric piano, Moog synthesizer, Gene Perla on electric and acoustic bass, and Don Elias on drums, etc. This cooks. This is in that electric Miles Davis mode. You know, Steve Grossman had played with Miles prior to this, I believe, sometime in the early 70s. Yeah, this is killer. Yeah, nice find. This was cheap, and it kind of pisses me off that this stuff is so cheap, but Henry Threadgill, X75 Volume 1 on Arista Novus from 1979. I guess this stuff is maybe just too weird for people. You know, it's not like there's a zillion copies of this thing out there, but I think I paid $2 for it. I love Henry Threadgill. Yeah, some of the vocals are pretty intense. It's challenging music, but fantastic. So worth the effort. And worth more than a couple bucks in my imaginary cosmos. Here's another one I found really cheap that's also an Arista Novus. That's just a great record. Michael Gregory Jackson, Gifts. from 1979 also. With just a great band with Marty Ehrlich and Jay Hoggard, Bakita Carroll, Michael Gregory Jackson, Fred Hopkins on bass, Farron Akloff on drums, Jerome Harris on bass. Great compositions, great playing. Michael Gregory Jackson is a guitarist, but he leaves plenty of space for other players, and he's got a variety of sounds going on. This is just a great record. White Label Promo. I've listened to this a bunch of times. It's so good. Again, criminally underrated and underpriced, or I don't know. I mean, it's a gift to us record collectors, right? Here's another Michael Gregory Jackson record, Cowboys, Cartoons, and Assorted Candy, on Enja from. Oh wait, what is this? Polygram from 1982. Solo record, where he, excuse me, I've gone on so long, my monitor's gone to sleep. He sings on some of these, and I didn't have high hopes for this. It was cheap. Yeah, it's on Enja. But this is great. It really is. Very different from this, of course, because this is an ensemble record. Yeah, great. All right, we're closing in. Here we go. Some later jazz. Tim Byrne, Spectres. This is a private press. I think his third private press record on Empire Productions. From 81. And he's got a great band. John Lindbergh on bass, Oludara on cornet, Alex Klein on drums, James Harvey on trombone, and Ed Schuler on bass. Yeah, I found this sealed for, I don't know, $6 or something stupid like that. I mean, what is there to say? I'm actually not the hugest fan of Tim Byrne, and that's just my own personal opinion, and it has to do with the sound of his horn. He's coming out of an Ornette Coleman thing, so he's got a very kind of acerbic, pitched up kind of sound. I don't know, he's a great player, he's a great composer, great band leader. He plays now in Mary Halvorson's groups and Ingrid Laubrock's groups. I mean, he's just, he's now an elder statesman. Anyway, I'm super happy to have found this and add it to my collection. I mean, and just, it's really good. And right after that, he signed Columbia, of all labels. Here's Sanctified Dreams from 1987. Now, I don't know what Columbia thought they were getting with Tim Byrne, but this is classic Tim Byrne. Who's playing on this? Joey Barron on drums, Mark Jesser on bass, Hank Robertson's cello, Herb Robertson pocket trumpet, cornet, trumpet. I thought I heard violin on this too. Oh, cello, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember when this came out in 1987. Kind of created a stir that, around the same time, Columbia had Wynton Marsalis, who was doing this well-dressed, traditional thing, and also being kind of a loudmouth policeman of jazz. So this would not be Wynton's definition of jazz, and yet there he is on Columbia. He made one more record for Columbia, and then they dropped him. I don't think this sold very well, but I remember him kind of making a stir, kind of the anti-Wynton. Whatever. All right, here's the last one. I don't know why I put this last, because it's kind of beat. Peter Barden's Write My Name in the Dust, his first solo record from 71. It's a U.S. pressing on MGM, white label promo. Great prog record. He went on to play with Camel and do some sort of new agey solo records after this. This is very much in a prog rock vein, and lots of like tape flanging and killer guitar solos and impassioned songwriting. Great record. I wish it was in better condition. It's a placeholder till I can find a better one. And it being a white label promo, I might just hang on to it anyway. All right, 30 minutes. Well, I told you it would be a long video. If you're still hanging out with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Leave your comments. Like it, dislike it. Subscribe, unsubscribe. Hey, Andreas. Looking forward to another video from you, I hope. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.